Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Sean Brumfield. I'm your host, and this is Pulpit to the Pew. So glad to have you here, and I hope you're enjoying the content that we're putting out. We're kind of down a couple guys here, and it's just me and Brother Jonathan tonight.
How's it going, everyone?
Oh, well, what do you think about us going on our first podcast with it just being us?
I don't know. It's weird. It almost feels like you have a church service without the pastor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So you know what that means? I'm kind of feeling a little rebellious. I'm feeling a little rebellious, Brother Sean. I don't know. I feel like I can let my hair down a little bit.
We're going to probably lose every little bit of structure that we had because he's not here.
Yeah, I tell you what, I will give this to Brother Ryan. He is fantastic at transitioning. He can give him that.
He is the king of segues.
Yeah, he's really good at it. So I think we'll be all right, though. I think we'll be all right with this recording. I think we are going to do just fine. You and I mean, we got this.
Oh, we're best buds, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got like 6-7 months of experience of being friends, right?
Yeah, and like the crazy thing is how close we've gotten in that time. That's the thing, and how even this podcast was started. You know, we were just kind of talking about it, and it just kind of came out, and it started going.
Threw itself together.
And it's been so much fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. I know, and it helps that we're actually getting listeners, and active and people active. I mean, people at my church are talking to me about it. I'll get into that a little bit later and stuff. But just having people listening is one thing, because we were going to do this irregardless.
Yeah. It's cool to see how many people are actually reacting with us. You know, the social media page is it's still new. But we're getting a lot of people interacting, leaving comments, and people asking how to listen and stuff like that.
And the amount of people that want to be on it.
I get requests.
It's crazy.
Several times a week, like, hey, you guys looking for another guy? Funny thing is, there's a lady at our church, Sister Regina, and she pulled Lissa inside and was like, hey, if they ever need a woman's perspective on the podcast, I will be there. And so to take things up a notch, she was like, we went to Benjamin afterwards because Ben has been like, Benjamin Brown, Brother Ryan's son, has been begging to be on the podcast for such a long time.
Yeah, I know he's been trying to take my spot.
Yeah, he's been trying to kick Brother Jonathan off since day one, especially because of the Waffle House incident. And that's just going to live forever, man. That's part of our lore. No.
I just think it's immortalized at this point.
It is. It's the top of the line. You're going to go to churches and they're going to ask you to minister or something, and they'll be like, "We got that anti-Waffle House preacher."
That's the thing. It's so like prevalent. Like, well, you've introduced me to a couple people from your family, and the first thing they talk, this is Jonathan, the guy that doesn't like Waffle House.
Yes.
It's like. It's so
I don't even have to say that you don't like Waffle House. I'm like, this is Jonathan. He has to be on the podcast. He goes, and they're all like, Waffle House hater.
It's the funny thing is so like I'm pretty low key. I'm not very like outgoing. I mean, once you get to know me, I talk a ton. Hence why I'm able to be on a podcast.
Yeah,
but like. It's so funny the phases of my Christian walk that I've been, because I was I didn't get my name, like I'm getting more accustomed to actually telling people my name, but initially I was my grandfather's grandson, then my cousin Brother Jared, I was his cousin, and then I started dating Mariah, and then I was Mariah's boyfriend, and now and then I'm Mariah's husband, and it's so funny because it's like now I can add another name to that list, and it's like I'm the guy that doesn't like Waffle House.
but yeah, back to Ben. Like what we were messing around with him was that Regina said that she put her application in for the fourth person, and we told her that she got it.
And didn't Ben almost get like super mad?
Oh, Ben was really mad. He was ready to tear us up. Well, you know what's funny though, and for people who don't know, so when we do these recordings, in the house, we do it in my house, and me and my wife live here and our 2 dogs. But when we do the recordings, just about everybody brings their family. So Brother Jonathan brings his family, Brother Ryan brings his family, and we'll sit there and they'll stay upstairs and do their playing around, eating, whatever, having a fun time. And we're just down here chilling, telling stories, laughing a bunch. And that's even before recording, before we even hit play.
Yeah.
But poor Ben, he's had to go upstairs and wait and listen for the next episode to come out for that in the next week or the next 2 weeks out. As much as he wants to be on the show, but he has to suffer just being upstairs waiting on us to get done.
Just in a room by himself.
Yeah, he's done. He's in there moping about. Poor kid.
But the fun part about all of this though is genuinely like having an outlet. I think I've enjoyed that the most.
Oh yeah.
And I know sometimes we get a little scatterbrained and we go all over the place. But that just feels so genuine. There does feel a genuine. And one of the things I do say about Brother Ryan is he has a really good way of keeping and weaving. He's really good at the weave.
Yeah, pulling subjects together
and pulling it together. But it just feels so authentic. And I think that was the overarching theme we were really going for.
Yeah,
was we didn't want a heavily scripted thing. We wanted it to be authentic, and this is. And it's authentic, and I appreciate that. And the outlet has been great.
Well, and my thing is, I wanted it to be like where you could have a bunch of, it's like when you're done with a youth rally or a camp meeting, that Friday night, people's going out and hanging out in the fellowship hall. It's real late, and you got about 15, 20 people just sitting around talking and telling. You could have a funny story 1 minute, and then you could have a super in-depth conversation about the Bible and theology and all that stuff. That's what I want the show to be like, is to be able to feel like you're in the room with us having a good time. And, if you want to be part of that, send your comments to us. Let us know what you think about it so that we can grow with you guys, let you know, provide the content that you want.
And tell us funny things you enjoy about the show. I mean, we love the listens and we love the likes and stuff, but maybe drop a comment, drop something that you enjoyed about the episode. Like, so to wrap back to what I said about one of the ladies at the church, it was our Christmas episode, the one we were talking about Christmas traditions. She couldn't remember specifically what it was. It was Sister Joyce. I love her to death. Thank you for listening, and thanks for the feedback, and thanks for saying, But she said she loved it because we were laughing, and she could laugh along with us. It was a genuine laugh. She didn't remember specifically, but it was the Christmas traditions and stuff like that, which I thought was a great episode and a lot of fun. So, give us specific things you like about the episodes and stuff, and we appreciate the feedback, as always. I know we're and we'll probably say this again at the end of the episode, we appreciate the interactions and the feedback. It's important to us.
Yeah, and in order for us to be able to make this content, to be able to keep pushing it out, I think it'd be so much more enjoyable to be able to have something that's relatable to our listeners, being able to talk back with them. I try to do my best to stay on the social media as much as I can to answer comments or give shout outs and stuff. Brady, he got on there earlier today and he left the comment. And he said, I think y'all should have special guests. And he had these eyeballs looking around like he wanted us to do it. And he said, great show. But, and I tried to get back to him as soon as I could. And that's what we want. We want to build a community. There's we're here in the Miami Valley area. There's a ton of churches in our area. And from what I'm seeing, we're getting listeners from everywhere. People who comment, it's not just my church at Sharonville. It's not just Brother Jonathan's at Miamisburg, but churches all around are commenting, and that's what we want. We want everybody to even though we're not in a revival, having to go to church and be with everybody, that week, which we want to do that. We want to love to fellowship, but to have an extension outside of just church and being able to grow together, that's our true desire, is to build that community up.
And like I said, it's just a place to I know it's not live, and who knows, maybe down the road we do a live recording. That would be something we could maybe look at doing. But having honest feedback, and if you have a question or last week's topic last week's topic was on the question of why. Mm-hmm. And that was something that we kicked around, and we wanted to tackle that. If there's a topic that you think, it doesn't have to be something spiritual. It could be something more casual or whatever. And we want to talk about it. We want to get involved. We want you guys to be involved with us and stuff like that. And it's a lot more fun when you're active with us.
Yeah. And we're all of us on the show, we do a wide range of things in church. I'm a musician. Brother Ryan's a musician. Brother Jonathan sings a little bit. He's definitely a singer, but he won't say that he is. But I love guitars. Fender guitars are my favorite. If you have a rebuttal against that, ask us what we think. That's what I want is if you have an opinion, you want to bring it out to the community, let me know. We'll put it out there.
And that's the fun part, and we can get off the community part because we need. But we could talk about it all day.
Well, we could probably just talk about it, honestly, make a show out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing is we love it. I mean, like the interactions with Ben. I mean, even though he's gunning for my spot, it's fun when I see him, when I get to see him, when we all get together. And I love it when people it makes me feel good when somebody's like, "Hey, I listen to you guys every single week."
Yeah.
There's another person at my church. You're my ritual. I like to listen to you right before I go to bed. It's nice. It's awesome. Thank you, Sister Vicky, once again. Like I said, just going to drop some names every once in a while. But stuff like that makes me feel good. It's like, man, it's really cool when you actually have the physical evidence of that. Hey, I'm listening and I'm enjoying it. Or, and to be honest, even though it's uncomfortable, if there's feedback, we appreciate that because we can grow. Because like I said, this is genuinely us. None of us were professional recorders of any kind, broadcasting or anything like that. Obviously, I know us three are preachers, so we have that public speaking, and that kind of knowledge and stuff like that. But the main thing is I would appreciate the feedback. Hey, if you guys, if you guys thought about tweaking something like this or tweaking something like that, or hitting this a specific way, or trying to give it, that's awesome for us because we can grow. And
if you want specific segments that we can put in, like fake news, something like that, or I know I don't, just to put it out there, I get a lot of my inspiration from Brother Devin Birdsong from Potami. He's kind of one of the things that maybe one of the main guys that I've listened to, really enjoyed, and made me get away from life and just kind of have a couple minutes while I'm doing something, listen to. So if you listen to Potami, it's segments like they do. I wouldn't mind doing that. You just got to listen to what you want.
And like I said, just the thing of us growing together. Because, like I said, even if nobody, and we've said this in the past, if no one listens, which hopefully that's never the case, but we were going to do this anyway because we just genuinely enjoy doing it. To be honest, I enjoy getting together with Brother Sean, Brother Ryan, and whoever else we have, because we're going to do some interviews and stuff like that. And we did a little bit with that with Brother Jason. He did fantastic. Yes. With the Men of Faith thing, we're going to do stuff like that.
Yeah, our next episode that you will probably hear is going to be an interview with Brother Jerry Pasquarello, and we're so excited for that. I'm ready to be able to sit down, and I know Brother Jerry personally a little bit, not too well, but just kind of in passing in services and stuff like that. But I'm super, super excited for that.
I think that's so much fun. The fact that we're that's what we want to do. And if there's somebody in my church having revival, it's something, or Brother Sean with and Brother Ryan at Sharonville, or somewhere with us at Miamisburg, that's the kind of stuff we want to do.
Yeah.
And the reason why, it's not necessarily because these guys are these great men of God, these great men of the faith that we have, we want to be able to record them so we can have reference for that.
Yeah.
But also to kind of like what we were talking about last week with the why, bring them down to a more human, man, they're relatable. They're willing to talk and willing to answer questions, and they're willing to be out there. And I'm so excited if the interview takes place. I'm so excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that I envisioned for this was, I know as a young person, and even now still a young adult, that it's easy to feel isolated in our movement sometimes, and I know we go to church and stuff like that, but sometimes you can feel like your church is the only one, nobody else lives the way you do, or maybe you go to a church that doesn't have a bunch of young people, and you feel isolated in that way. But I want you to be able to listen to this and kind of remove yourself from that thought process and know that there's other people out there that care about where you are and want to provide something that is good, clean entertainment that can be uplifting, encouraging from your movement.
And relatable. It's relatable. I'm a young adult. I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel that way because it's funny. Every time I hang out with people now, I'm the oldest guy in the room, and it's like really weird for me.
Especially tonight.
Yeah, right. Like it's like I'm not old. I'm 31. I'm not old, but like I hang out with Brother Sean. You're 26,
27.
Some of my other buddies are in their mid 20s. That I'm really close with, mid 20s and stuff like that. And I'm the oldest guy in the room, and it's like, man, it feels like, and they don't really say this. Everybody says it, but you don't believe it. That time flies, and
yeah.
Like when you're going through school or even when you're in your teenage years or even in your 20s, it's like time flies. And it's like, not really. And I look back and I'm 31 now, and I remember like it was yesterday when I was 21, 22, and 25. Like that stuff, like it was so crazy to me before I turned 30. It was like I'm closer to 30 than I was when I graduated, like the year I graduated when I was 18, or like, it's so crazy, the concept of time. And like, even though I'm a little bit older, I like to hang out and do to be relatable with younger folks and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, we came through that. And younger people right now, I mean, they're going through a whole bunch of things that are even new that blow my mind.
Yeah.
And we just want you to realize that, you can have fun. You can, which we've said this on previous episodes, so we're going to sound like a broken record, and we're trying to avoid doing that. But like, you can have fun. You can have good conversations, and it doesn't have to be unclean or unfit or whatever you want to call it. You can have fun.
Well, we can have fun in the Lord, and a lot of those things come just from like church memories. And when you look at stuff like that, I look back at like a little bit like Brother Jonathan said, and when I was like 18 or like just getting ready to leave high school, in your late teens, 15 to like 19, you're like, man, am I ever gonna get out of here? And then like finally that day comes, you're like, oh man,
I don't want to get out of here.
Why did I want to get out of here so bad? But. And then I look at things that, that keep me going in my adult years, like from like church memories that I've had. I'll tell one, and one of our top listeners, my cousin Drew, I have so many funny stories with him. We grew up together, and he moved into our house when we were teenagers. And I remember one incident in particular. We were having a shout down, buddy. I mean, it was one of the craziest services that we were ever in. And old Drew, he was getting it, man. He was tearing up a rug, and he finally, the Lord was starting to leave him, and he got done. Well, at Shadeville, they have these doors that lead out to the hallways on the sides up towards the altars. Well, Drew was standing up against one of those doors. But those doorknobs, or the doors had false doorknobs in them, so they didn't latch. They just kind of stayed open. Yeah, they just kind of. So like you could still like jiggle the handle and stuff, and it would make a sound, but there was nothing there to shut it. So Drew's sitting down there, and he's getting himself back together. And man, this big old boy, he was like 6 foot. Drew's kind of short. I think he's like 5'5" or something like that. And Drew, he's just kind of sitting there, and he's up against that door. And this old boy, he's probably 6'1", 6'2", he's running laps around the church. And would you know it, he come and he tackled Drew straight through that side door. And he just, and immediately, it's like the Lord hit Drew again. He landed on the ground and started shouting on the floor. It was one of the funniest things ever. But those are memories that I look back on. And I think, I get tired of when people say, yeah, you can't have fun in church. I'm like, man, my best memories is sitting in church and like seeing what all happened. I will never forget that.
Well, even like this past year, like when we actually got to know each other and got close, was youth camp.
Yeah.
And one of the services, you and me took off running. and look, me and Brother Sean both, if you know us at all, we're not what you would call fit.
I'm a big boy.
I'm pretty big myself. And you got me and him running, and it's just in the middle of summer, so it's like 80, 90 degrees in an outside sanctuary, and we're taking off running. And it's stuff like that is so much like when the Lord gets on you, it's so much fun. There's so much joy. And, and the thing is when you really get into the Spirit like that, it keeps you young. It keeps that youthful vigor about you when you truly get excited about it. And that's why I like even though obviously I'm out of the youth rally scene because I'm 31 years old, I'm not really, I love youth rallies because energy's always high. The kids are there, the young people, the youth are ready to go. They come with the mindset ready to worship, which I'm sure if Brother Ryan was here, he would say,
he'd be preaching right now, buddy.
He would be saying we need to have that mentality.
He'd be like, forget shouting out the doors. Let's talk about worship for a minute.
Well,
go to Hebrews.
He would also be like, why can't you just do that on every service? Why is it just youth rally? But like that spirit of that youthful spirit it's so infectious to be around.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. And some of my fondest memories and some of the funniest things happen in church. And I just, like I said, I love this outlet that we've created. Because shout out to GCS, which is where Brother Ben goes to school.
Yeah.
From what you've told me and what you've shared with me, a lot of people from GCS listen.
Yeah, a lot of people from GCS listen.
So shout out to you guys. We hope you're enjoying it and keep it up.
Let us know who all from GCS listens.
Yeah.
Comment. Send me an email.
Something. Well, you just sounded really old because a lot of them probably don't email.
Well, in modern society, you have to email.
True. Everything, well, yeah, for their social media accounts, they have to have some kind of email. I just look at my own email inbox, and it's like 200 unread emails. I'm like, yeah, I'll delete those eventually. But no, I don't know. I think we like to have fun.
Yeah.
And I hope that's what we convey. And I think we do a good job of conveying that and conveying the fun. And we can be super serious, and we've done, like last week, I think we did some joking in the episode, but it was pretty much a serious topic.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about this, is you can see that you can do both, right? Like you can see the seriousness when we need to convey a message, and when something is important, we can convey that to you. But at the same time, you can have that funny laugh, like, I mean, I know we joke about it, but like me not liking Waffle House is a staple at this point. And it's always funny, and it's always something to joke at me about. Like that stuff you can mix that stuff in your life. You can mix that stuff. Just one of the things I could like to talk about one of these episodes, and I think I would like to have Brother Ryan here for it, would be burnout, like spiritual burnout.
Yeah.
Because that is something that, I mean, I don't think you can be too spiritual, okay? Don't misunderstand me. Don't misinterpret me. I think you can never give up too much for God. You can never spend too much time in prayer. You can never spend too much time reading your Bible. But you want to have a sustaining fire.
Right.
And sometimes the hotter you burn, the faster you can burn out. And so like so that's something that you got to have a little bit of fun.
There must be a mixture. Because, we love the fun times, but I remember the serious times from church as well. I remember being a kid, and me and my brother were very, very young, and it was probably I had experienced the Lord a little bit before, but it was one of the first times my brother, I think, ever really was starting to get it. I mean, we were probably 4 or 5, and probably the first time the Lord really showed himself to my brother. And we were praying up on the pulpit at Shadeville, and I can't remember who was praying, but I remember I was praying and my brother was praying, and he didn't understand what was going on. And so I stopped praying, and my brother through tears in his eyes looked at me and was like, "You got to keep praying with me," And so those are things that I can go back and look at. And my brother, he's a minister, he's doing really well, married, has his baby, but to look back and know that I had those experiences, not just funny ones, but serious ones. And like I mess with my brother all the time. Man, you couldn't pray without me, And I still tell him, can you pray even though I'm not praying with you? It's just kind of bad at him. But that was a serious moment, for me, and I can remember that.
And I can remember times where some of the greatest things I've ever had happen to me in church is when somebody took me to the side and had a serious conversation.
Yeah.
With me. Whether it be a spirit of encouragement. Brother Ryan's done that for me. He did it at youth camp. I was blessed to be able to speak at the youth camp. But even though I'm a speaker, even though I'm a preacher, I go through things and I have problems. And
still need encouragement.
Exactly. And he pulled me to the side, and it was a very serious moment. And then later that night, after service was over, that evening service, after Brother Alex had preached a phenomenal message, Brother Alex Gross had preached a phenomenal message, we were in the chow hall laughing and joking, but yet a half an hour beforehand, I was basically crying, and he was, or even those moments of correction, nobody, and we were talking about the feedback loop, nobody likes to be corrected necessarily, but it's a very important aspect of you as a Christian, or even you as an adult. As you mature into an adult, when you get into the workforce, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to mess up. You're not going to be perfect all the time. So you need people, good people, and as long as it's done in a good, godly way and not, to hit you over the head with a hammer, and sometimes you do need that, but like genuinely good correction or genuinely good feedback is very valuable and something you should cherish, and you should listen. Now, I think we talked about it. I don't remember which episode we talked about. If it's done it it was about why. I'm bringing up last week's episode a ton. I love.
It was a great episode.
I love the episode. If it was done in the right spirit, if something is done in the right spirit as far as correcting is concerned, take that criticism, take that feedback, because you can grow from it. Because one of the things I've heard it preached quite a bit, we're growing in faith. We're growing in Christianity. And what do you need to grow effectively? If it's just sunshine all the time and there's no times of storm or bad weather, you die, you wilt, and you don't grow. You need the rain. You need those moments of, and sometimes rain is a trial, but sometimes rain is correction. You need that to grow. And like I said, if it's done in the right spirit by the right person that you trust, it's invaluable, and cherish it. And just because they're correcting you doesn't mean you can't have fun with them now. Because like I said, Brother Ryan, he encouraged me, and I had confided some things into him, personally, and he gave me really good advice and some things and stuff. And then, like I said, a half an hour, 45 minutes later, we're in the chow hall laughing. There was nothing like, I can't believe Brother Jonathan said this, or I can't believe Brother Ryan told me this, or it was genuine. And I know people are probably thinking, well, you guys are friends. And it's like, I've been friends with Brother Ryan for a while. When I was, like I said, he preached his first revival at my home church. So I've known Brother Ryan for a very long time. But as far as a closeness, I wasn't super close to him, and until we started doing this podcast. I've gotten really close with him.
And I wouldn't even say correction is the right word. There's a time of training. If I go out and I have a set of grapevines that are growing, if I don't go in and train those vines to weave in and out of the trellis, it doesn't grasp anything. It'll keep going and going and going and going until it finds something that it can't hold on to. And sometimes it's not the right thing. It'll grow outward when it needs to be growing up, right? So correction isn't always, and if there is a correction in training, and those kind of go hand in hand in some ways, but they're two very different things. In those moments, they can't be moments that are mean, or angry. You don't spank your child when you're mad.
Yeah,
you spank them after you've had time to, and I know I'm kind of stepping on a limb. I don't have children, but I'm a youth pastor, and I've been a child. My parents never. Now, if I acted like a fool in public, they did a quick correction and got me. Okay. All right, there is a time for that, but when it comes to something that is detrimental, that's going to be a huge lesson that goes on, and a lot of times this is for more mature people, right? It's what we're talking about here. Mature individuals get a correction that is not done in meanness, not done in spite, not done because they are some great, powerful person, but they are a person who looks down, and not so much looks down on you in a disrespectful manner, but they look at you as a younger person and sees the potential that's inside and is able to help bring that out. And in order to get out of a shell, that shell has to break.
Or they see you as someplace they've already been.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Kind of like what you were saying. And I know the reference and the connotation of looking down in most sense is, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But, as somebody that's matured or gone through more things, because I go to my elders. Like I said, I've been through quite a bit. I can search and I can seek my elders who may have went through something similar that can help me along the way.
Yeah.
That's not them looking down on me. That's them trying to help me. And I like how you put that. I like that phrasing of trying to break you out of that shell.
Yeah.
So understanding that, sometimes things have to happen. And maybe the reason why I'm so big on feedback right now is because I'm training for a new job.
Yeah.
In a field that I've never been in or never done. And I'm craving feedback. Because I'm new.
Yeah.
I'm unknowing, I don't know, and I'm learning. I'm craving knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So I look for feedback, and and then you learn to process what's good feedback and what's not, and what's to apply. And that's the sign of a good teacher. They give you that feedback, they give you that teaching, that moment, and then they don't necessarily tell you the exact way to do it. They want you to do it, what feels natural to you that you can grow with.
Yeah, and you
because what
to,
works for me may not work for you.
Exactly. And my young people that may listen to this may not like me for saying this, but I treat my young people different than I would. I don't treat them all the same as far as a training way. There's some that have full capability of being able to do something, but they are timid and held back. So what do? I force them to do something, right?
You push them out.
I tell them, hey, this youth service, you're going to take prayer requests. This youth service, you're going to pray over the offering. And then there's others who are may not have the skill net necessarily, or are younger and can't be held to the same accountability where they get an option of doing that. But they're not always going to have an option.
Eventually, yeah.
So that's the way it is. And even here in the podcast, and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to figure out how do we narrow this down and perfect it. That's what we want to do. We want to provide good content.
Yeah, and it's not about perfection, but we want to be as good as we possibly can be. And we're always like we are in our Christian lives. We're striving for perfection.
Yeah.
And that's something, like I said, to be honest, me and Sean were talking earlier today and before, we were a little we were kind of nervous. It's this is the first time it was just going to be me and him and stuff like that. But we're doing it and it's fine. And it's
just a conversation, man.
It's just a conversation. And, and like I said, I was feeling a little rebellious. So sometimes I can say a little bit more and talk a little bit more.
I don't have to listen to a 9-minute explanation on. Sorry, Brother Ryan. I love you.
And that's your pastor. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
He'll get me when he listens to it. He's not going to get a pre-edited version.
See, the thing is Sean can say something because he sits across the table from Ryan. I can't say anything because Ryan's within arm's reach of me.
Ryan's got him at gunpoint.
No, but no, and like I said, and one of the cool things about with having Ryan on here,
yeah,
is sometimes he just goes, and then when he goes, I get to sit and listen, and I can learn without. And being able to have those conversations is awesome, and I said it at I think this was the first episode. Sometimes I feel like I'm the dumbest guy in the room, and that's great. I like it. Not that I'm dumb. I don't like to be dumb. I'm not saying that, but that's an expression, being the dumbest guy in the room, because that means I can learn.
You got to get the golden nuggets of wisdom and knowledge that gets to come out from, and that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to in our interviews that are going to be coming. Is I'm looking forward to being able to get a hold of some of these men and women of God that we may not be able to have a casual conversation with, or maybe just people in general aren't able to have a normal conversation. And all of us are going to be able to sit and listen to them and get the wisdom that they have, the experience, I'm so pumped to see where this is going, 2025. I know we started at the end of 2024. We had a great takeoff, but this year I am so excited to see where this is going to go, who we're going to reach. And, I looked at our statistics and our analytics yesterday, and we are going farther than what we think we are. I looked, we have somebody from Russia tuning in and listening.
No way.
Yeah, so our second international listener. And thank you for tuning in. I'm just every time I look at that, and we started off really hot. We started off with a hot, and it kind of tapered off a little bit, but we're starting to catch back up, and that's got me so excited.
And that's the thing. And like I said, some of the interviews that we want to do, and hopefully that we can do, like, man, I'm gonna love it because one of the problems that I've had is I'm not super forthworth. Like, I don't go Sean has really helped me. One of the things he's helped me, like when we went to churches, like we visited churches together, he's like, come on, let's go sit at the table. And it gets me out of my comfort zone because sometimes I feel intimidated by pulling up and going up to people that I don't really know. Like I said, once I get to know you and there's a level of comfortability, I don't shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I can talk forever. So, but getting me out of my comfort zone and going to that spot. So like I said, some of the interviews that we may have, I'm going to be completely uncomfortable with that because I know the person doesn't know who I am. Mm-hmm. But to get to sit with them and have a conversation with them is going to be so much fun for me. And I'm excited for it because, like I said, it's taking me out of my comfort zone. And that's one thing that I kind of want to do is to get more out of my comfort zone and be more social and not, like, I'm not trying to be a politician. I'm not saying that. So please don't misunderstand me. I just want to talk. I want to get to know people. I want to pick people's brains.
Yeah.
One of the ideas that me and Sean had kind of kicked around is even doing like interviews with the cast.
Yeah.
Which, like, talking about, which I know we kind of do that anyway. We chime in with our personal whatever. Mm-hmm. Hence why I'm roasted for the Waffle House thing and the ketchup on chili dogs. Like, I'm pretty personal on here. So I just like that factor of like being able to talk to somebody and get to know them on a more personal level. And it's weird because, like, you would think, and I'm curious if you feel this way. Like, I thought once we would get the microphones in our face and we put the in-ears in, it would change. Like, the dynamic would change. Like, oh no, the pressure's on to basically perform because the mic's on. And one of the pleasant surprises I've had is it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like when we hit record, it's time to like turn it on. It does feel genuinely authentic.
When we first started, I was very, very nervous, and sometimes I have a hard time pushing the record button because even though I'm a very extroverted person, I love to talk to people. I love hearing people's opinions. I like getting up and being, I don't want to say life of the party, but I like to make people laugh and have a good time. I am not good when it comes to, or I am not the best. Sorry, that was terrible grammar. I am not the best at running like a service and trying to get things kick-started and being the most organized. My wife is the organized one. I like to do whatever I want when I want. If I get a weird hair that day, I'll go out and do it. But that has been the hardest part for me. But I have enjoyed the process of the conversation, of getting it going and just letting it be natural. I think that's what's going to make us be successful, is just how natural that the conversation is, because I want people that are listening to be able to say, hey, I can relate with these guys.
Well, the chemistry shows.
Yeah. The
chemistry shows through the microphone. And one of the cool things, like I said, I think one of the cool things we're looking to do is do video. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a whole nother element. Now then I'll be nervous when we actually go on camera. and stuff like that. That's going to be nerve-wracking, but it's just another thing.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that, the opening, because it is hard, because I mean, and maybe this is one of the things we need to work on. We don't come in here with a script.
No.
We literally,
maybe it shows.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, exactly. The feedback. We were talking about feedback. But literally, we don't come in here with a preset agenda. I mean, it may seem that way because of how we started, but we started around the holidays. So, it's just easier to talk.
Flowed.
Yeah, it
You had a
flowed.
topic.
So, one of the things I'm even nervous about it, and I've expressed it with Brother Sean, is now that we're out of the holidays, it's like, how do we spread our wings and do this without the comfort of having something to fall back on?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it probably does come through that we don't come through with the script. But part of me understands that we might need one just to make it structured, but also part of me doesn't like it because it doesn't feel natural.
Well, here's the thing: is I don't have a golden tongue. I don't have the best English. It's a little bit better than Brother Ryan's. And
he
I
keeps
messed up his
fighting.
name.
And by the way, he keeps fighting on this poinsettias. It's poinsettias.
It's definitely poinsettias.
I don't.
And it's Chicago.
Yeah.
Wait. No, I said it the way he said it.
You said it. You just said it.
It's Chicago. It's Chicago.
It's Chicago.
Yeah. Man, I told you we were going to butcher this up if we messed around with him.
Your pastor is rubbing off on you.
Oh, well.
And that's, in some ways,
I've been working with him for 5 years.
Exactly,
so yeah.
exactly. But yeah, no.
I like how natural the conversation is because it lets you see that, we're not educated by any means. Well, maybe some more than others. But I'm talking about myself.
I'm not educated at all.
I'm very well learned.
One of my best friends in this world, Chris, he's going to laugh at this. He's the kind of guy, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I'll be texting him, and he corrects my grammar.
I've noticed he does that in our conversation.
I cannot stand it because it's a text message. Why are you correcting my grammar?
Who cares?
But
he needs a text Brother Ryan because Brother Ryan, what he'll do is he will do talk to text. And half the time the words are 100% wrong, and I'll just have to guess at what he says.
I wonder how ambulance comes across in a spoken text message. Because isn't that how he says it? Doesn't he?
Yeah, ambulance.
Oh my goodness!
It's hereditary though. They all talk like that.
So I'm not the brightest crown in the crown box. I'm not. Never ever claim to be. So I love the free flow we feel, but I do understand that we might need some structure, and stuff like that. But we like the natural feel of it. We really do.
I think that is the relatable portion. Being able to just have a conversation. That's what my vision was to have transparency. And if we're talking day to day, I don't have a script ready to talk to you.
Absolutely.
And
we do talk every day.
Yeah. Every single day. And if I was to write out a script, you would have a different script.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way things work. So I really like it being natural and forthcoming.
And like I said, I think the chemistry shows. We genuinely...
we have a ball.
Exactly. And that's generally at my expense, which is fine.
Brother Ryan's getting it tonight, and he's not even here to defend himself.
I think that's why we're doing this, because he's not here to defend himself. I'm very curious how we'll do after he's heard the episode.
Dude, he's going to hear it, and he's just going to slay us when he comes in. We're going to get so roasted. It's not going to be 9 minutes of straight talking. It's going to be a whole hour of him just talking.
Yeah, it may be like the Men of Faith episode where no one probably knew I was there until the last 5 to 10 minutes, and
he was like, "Hey yo."
Literally, I was so happy to be there for that episode and stuff like that. But there was, because rightfully so, I have never had the opportunity. I've had the opportunity. I've just never went to Men of Faith. So rightfully so, and Brother Jason made sure to let me know that, and as you guys heard. But like I said, I think we're doing a good thing. whenever we're done recording these, when we finish these recordings, and this, I don't know if this sounds self-fulfilling or like soothing for us. Maybe, I don't know. We'll hear it in the feedback or when we listen.
Yeah.
I leave here feeling good. Like, you know what I mean? I leave here feeling like that was a genuine good conversation. It was genuinely fun, and I had a good time doing it.
I have never left here and felt like we didn't do a good job. Like, you know what I mean?
Even with the serious episodes.
Like when I get done preaching, sometimes I feel like I'm lacked.
Oh,
You know, you kind of criticize yourself.
I'm in my head as soon as I'm done.
Yeah, but with these, I really feel like we've tried to do our best to be natural and produce something that, in the words of Brother David Webb, he talked about how if we're going to make Christian content, we need to make good content.
Yeah.
If we don't want everybody going out into the world and eating up what the world has with their entertainment and the filth that's out there, then the good stuff and the clean stuff and the inspiring things that we put out there needs to be quality. And I have stayed up tons and tons of hours studying, looking to try to get the best equipment, trying to make sure we have good audio and try to find a good things to edit on. Because to be transparent with the audience here, this is like one of my heartbeats. I've prayed about it. I thought this is what the Lord wanted us to do, and that's why it got started. And then the Lord put the men here to help me do it, and that means so much to me. And I want to produce something that people are going to enjoy and genuinely feel like they got, maybe not help isn't the right word, but got encouraged, didn't feel like, oh, that was junk. I don't ever want to listen to Brother Sean again. Or
it was a waste of time.
Yeah. Why did I listen to, right now we're at 47. Why did I listen to 47 minutes of these guys sit around and talk about their own podcast? Like, you know what I mean?
And that's the one thing that why I appreciate when people listen and then they comment is because time is limited. You have a limited amount of time, period.
Yeah.
And the fact that usually we do these episodes, I know some here recently we've been going a little bit, about an hour. We usually like to be around, 45 minutes to an hour, somewhere in there. That you took an hour out of your time to listen to us. And that means so much to me.
Yeah.
And I can probably speak for the others. It means so much to everyone else on this. Because, like I said, time is so limited. I mean, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you have a limited amount of time.
And every listen is something that it makes me get excited. If I see a comment on the Facebook page or if I see an email, my heart skips a beat because it's like, man, these people, not only do they just listen, but they're enjoying it and they're letting us know that they enjoy it.
And I will say this. Let me talk on this. Brother Sean will never admit this, and I want to do it for the sake of it. The amount of work he's put in, and the amount of resources he's put in, and the time that he spent. I mean, he does the editing. He bought the recording equipment. He bought the microphones. He this is a labor of love. He loves doing it. And he puts a lot of hours and a lot of effort into it. I mean, the amount of conversations we have, in regards to the podcast. I mean, we genuinely are excited when we do this. And he, at the forefront of that, is excited. And yeah, I do want to commend you for that. And something that I do appreciate is how hard you've worked with this. And it shows.
I appreciate that. But it's all to God be the glory.
Absolutely.
I mean, almost everything that I found was on, I looked up these mics and stuff and did my best to get stuff that was reasonable. And in my research, that was reasonable. And half these mics that I found, they were well over 50, 60% off. The Lord made a way for these things to just kind of fall in my lap.
What-
You know,
Even like, I mean, you think about it. Like I said, we just met. Maybe like, I mean, no, it's been 6 months ago,
yeah,
and I can remember randomly. I was like, man, one of the cool things I've thought about. And we were just talking. I don't even remember how it got brought up, but I said I would love to do a podcast. I would love it. And then you were like, "Are you serious?" And that from that little conversation, that slight comment, this is what it's became. And
Yeah.
we've had we're close to 500, 700, somewhere in there. Like I don't know the numbers exactly.
downloads.
Yeah.
Earlier today, we were 2 away from 700.
So literally from a tiny conversation
Yeah,
with guys that just really got to know each other 6 months ago, we've had 700 clicks. Like, that's astounding to me. There's people that have been doing this a lot longer than we have invested, and done, that don't have that.
mm-hmm.
So I know this episode has really kind of just been us talking about the podcast. But, like, just understand, we don't take this stuff lightly.
Yeah.
Like, the listens, the comments, and everything, we appreciate it, genuinely. Like, that's why we wanted to create the Facebook page, and we're talking about doing videos and doing interviews and, like, doing, like, actual posts and different things like that. Like, we care about this. And the fact that you are reciprocating that care by listening, by commenting, by liking, by sharing, like, it means everything.
It means the world to us, because this is an extension to our ministry, and people, maybe you're not a minister, and maybe you don't understand what that means to somebody, but to minister for the Lord is something that is out of this world. To say that God called you into something, deity dropped and expects to use you. And to me, if I can just encourage one person out of this whole thing, and whether it be, the lowest moment of their life or what it is, if I can be a difference for just that, then it means the world to me.
Even making somebody smile.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Making somebody smile. Like, I love that. Like, when somebody... Like, it's so funny because it is at my expense, like the Waffle House thing, and I know I keep referencing it, but the amount of references I've gotten to it and people laughing about it, like, that's awesome.
It is awesome.
Even though it's at my expense, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
because you laugh.
There's been a lot of times that laughter really is a cure-all.
Well, the Bible, I can't.
So laughter doeth good is a good medicine.
Exactly, is what I was about to say.
There's been times that me and Lissa, and I don't want to bring our personal life into every episode, but we'll get in an argument or something like that, and most of the time it's my fault, right? Most of the time it's my fault, but if we could get one or the other to laugh,
it's all better.
The whole day is different. Like it's like we never even argued, and that's what I want to be for somebody, having a terrible day, is. If I can get you to laugh, you just might have a better day. And before you know it can turn... It's crazy. And I said this the last episode, but, so all it takes is just one little change in your life to make everything turn around. Not letting a bad day become a bad week to a bad month to a bad year. But maybe you are having a bad year and you can get a laugh. And from that one little laugh, you may go into work that day and... do an outstanding performance because you're in a better place. Our mental perspective on things, it changes the way things are, right? I mean, if we look at something in a different angle, that sounds so stupid. It changes the way that things are. But when our perspective changes, even though it's the same circumstance or the same situation, if you just look at it at a different way, you may just see a way of escape or a pathway to project you onto something else.
And I know, like I said, I think we're getting close to time. If not, we can just keep going. I'm good with that. But like the aspect of, and thank you once again for if you stuck it out with this episode. This episode, it does feel like it's just kind of been centered around the podcast and where we are. Maybe it's kind of a summary. This is what, our 8th or 9th episode.
This will be our 9th episode.
So we're almost at 10 episodes. just kind of thinking back at all of it, like it's so crazy because I genuinely appreciate what we've done so far and what we're gonna do. Like, because like we said, we've said it 1,000 times. If nobody listens, we're still gonna be here.
Yeah.
Because it's just we enjoy it, but it does make it a lot better that you're listening.
It's nice that people are listening. Yeah.
I will say it helps. It definitely helps. Don't misunderstand me. We want you to keep listening. Please keep listening. But no, I don't know. I just think that this podcast didn't come together haphazardly. I think that we have an outlet here.
Yeah.
And that's what we really truly want to be. And we've had a lot of laughs, and we've had a lot of serious discussions and stuff like that. You know, even the episode that we missed, I wish we could have recorded that. Like, I wish it would have came through because it was a solid one.
There were 2 that we lost.
Yeah, and
they were outstanding episodes.
And like I said, I'm sorry that we rubbed salt on the wound about that. Trust me, no one was more upset than we were. And
I was so hurt.
Yeah,
Really
that was rough. And there was, like I said, it's tech issues, and we since fixed that. But no,
Thank the good Lord above.
Like I said, guys, I just want everyone to know that we genuinely love that you're listening, and we genuinely want to be the best we can be for you guys, because that's truly what it's about. And I believe I can speak for all of us with that we want to be the best we can be, and we want to be able to help. And some, like you said, whether that be solid, deep, in-depth conversations about a specific topic, or one of the guys ragging a joke on each other, and we laugh, like you get a laugh out of that. And this podcast is for you to get to know us genuinely. Mm-hmm. And that's like, we want to be personal, and this is what it's about, is being personable, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to make it to heaven. That's the goal.
We want you to feel like you could meet us in public and just come and talk to us, you know, and obviously you'll probably know more about us than we do about you. Unfortunately, I wish it was could go both ways, but you know, we want to be approachable. We want you to see that you can be somebody in God, not let it go to your head, you know, that kind. And I'm not saying that we're high rollers, except for Brother Ryan. Brother Ryan's probably the big dog, but I that's what I want. You know, we're not here for fame or fortune. If the fortune comes, we won't shy it away. But we're so glad to have you be with us, and to be able to hear our stories and things like that. And yeah, some of them are pretty stupid, and maybe they're not that funny to you, but they are hilarious to us. But at least our serious episodes might have something to offer you.
And we're trying, and like I said, me and Sean have been talking pretty extensively on trying not to repeat ourselves and stuff like that, like telling the same things over and over again.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to do better about that, and we're going to keep that up to date with you guys. But just understand that we want this thing to keep growing, and we want this thing to keep, you know, building, and we want you guys to be along for the ride. I mean, from the people that have been listening since day one, I mean, we want you to feel that. And,
yeah. Thanks for staying with us.
And you're growing. We're growing, and we're growing together. And that's why, like, we're going to sound like a broken record this episode. Having your comments means everything.
Yeah. We got some big plans too. We're wanting to put some things out there of possibly some merch if we see some things grow. We had some T-shirts made for the guys here on the show, and been wearing them around, and I've had several people ask, "Oh, where can I get that shirt?" But if you are interested in that kind of stuff, let me know, and we might put a poll out there and do a pre-order basis. If you are, we're going to definitely take a picture and get it posted up on the Facebook,
and that way you can understand I mean, like I said, you could put my name to my face, so that way when you see me in public, or if you see me at a youth rally or a camp meeting, you can now understand that the dude with the red hair is the guy that doesn't like Waffle House.
Yeah, get a look at this fat face of mine that I have here. But I'm so grateful for everybody who has tuned in and has been a part of us. I hope that you stay and see what the end's going to be to this wonderful thing.
We ain't ending.
No, we're not ending.
We're not stopping.
We're just going to get stronger and keep going. And I hope you guys stay with us. I hope you have a great week. And God bless.
See you, everybody.